Alright, boys, how well done?
Good man.
Magic, mate.
Yep.
Fucking international football. Neymar for about 6 months. Fucking yes. Unlucky, Tam. What are you going to talk about?
It's only 2 months away, man, so we're all good.
You have to ruin everything, man. You have to ruin fucking everything. Anyway, we'll brush past it. What's been happening, Tam, anyway, since you're on mute and making a dick of yourself?
I've just been making a dick of myself. I've been running late. Trying to do
That
some
is
flat
true.
pack furniture.
What you been building like?
Drawers, but it doesn't look like drawers. You know, in The Simpsons, when like Homer Simpson tries to do the dog like house, and it just looks completely different. That's what I've just made. Niche reference, but if you get it, you get it.
I'm an adult. I don't watch The Simpsons, Tam. And I
You
haven't.
ruined
I
it,
don't think
Ando.
since 1991.
You ruined it. I was just going to leave utter silence there for folk, just because I could see how much Tam was squirming because he didn't have a clue what he wanted to say, and I was just leaving it because I caught him off guard, and you ruined it by giving him a break.
Sorry.
That's fine, mate. Okay, well, you can. What's been happening in your week? You're doing in Oxford. What's been happening?
But up and down the country, like absolutely ridiculous. But I'm down here in Oxford for the week, and it's going to be great fun because I kind of made an arse of things. Didn't realise it was the good lady's father's birthday on Friday, so I now have to do planes, trains, and automobiles to scramble back up the road for 3 o'clock on Saturday, which is a great personal expense and a lot of stress. So I've got that to look forward to. This is my little zen moment on the pod tonight before everything goes fucking tonto again.
Well, the good news is that the green pen is working. We're still undefeated. And when you've done your trains, planes, and automobiles, we're undefeated as well. So
that's true.
All good omens for Saturday. Kev, what's been happening in your world?
Just mere work, mate. Just mere work. But I'm now starting to panic for Saturday, given all these positives that you've came out with. I've got a horrible feeling of a 0-0 draw. Thanks. Just got it.
Oh, don't worry. I'll suck the life out of that later on. Cool. Don't you worry. I've got my stats ready for that. Don't you worry. And then Brad, what's been happening?
Not much, mate. I was supposed to be boys for a few weeks, so it's good to get back on. Just on one of my very, very, very few holidays I get for work. So
that's very true, mate. And no one deserves a holiday more than you, mate.
That's it.
You absolutely are the worst kind of bastard, aren't you?
He really is, man. And just because I know since the last time I saw you, I know you'll ask. My dad's in Jamaica, mate. Just in case you want to know why he's not at the St Mirren game. All right.
I was really worried.
He's on a cruise in Jamaica, mate. I know it was of great concern to you when we played St Mirren, so just in case, right?
There we go.
Sound. Right, well, welcome back to This Is My Story, your unofficial Hearts podcast. As we say every week, we're unaffiliated to the football club. All our opinions are our own and always miles off it. Obviously, we're in now what will always be known as the Derby fortnight. It could potentially have been the Derby, I don't know what it is for 3 weeks, 3 week night, or whatever you want to call it. But Hibs are going to finish bottom 6 when we beat them on Saturday. So the semi-final will be the last Edinburgh Derby of the season. So we'll talk about derbies that are coming up. We'll have Kevin McKenna's as players. We've got a Tam down, go through our headlines for the weeks that we've been away. We'll just talk about Craig Gordon and just everything about how fucking amazing the boy is. We'll review Ross County and then preview the upcoming Edinburgh Derby on Saturday, which is a 3 o'clock Saturday kickoff. It's going to be every bit as drunk as the St Mirren game, Brads. So I hope that you're in the same form, although you'll have to text me because you're not at the game.
I'll just text and ask where your dad is.
That's fine. I even just for good measure, I'll send him to Jamaica, right? I'll tell him that he's got to fire away. Right. Anything else that we want to talk about, boys, or is that pretty much it?
I think that's everything.
Well, thanks.
Nice. Right. Let's start then. Kevin McKenna's as players. Did we have any to answer for the last time, or did we answer on the day?
No, we answered on the evening last time round, which was 2 weeks ago now. But I've got 2 for us tonight. one of which is actually quite interesting, given who he is. But we'll leave that there at this moment in time. So,
Let us
first
decide
one.
if it's interesting. Come on, Kev.
I was going to say he just patted himself in the back, Kev. That's like when Ando tweets about himself in the third person.
Exactly. It's like, stop being a minge tease.
Right, let's go then, Kevin.
Let's go for it. 44 games for the famous, in total 7 goals. This player played for 9 different clubs throughout a very colourful career, including teams in France, England, Scotland, and the USA. He also managed New York Red Bulls and Toronto FC, whoever the fucking hell they are. So that's your first one. Your second one is we signed him from his hometown club. 203 appearances for the club with 61 goals in total. He was sold for £1.75 million, and I genuinely cried. He hung up his boots in 2015, but still plays the odd game for the Hearts Legends team. It's your 2 for this evening.
Thank you, Kevin.
Not a problem.
What one of them was
One of them was
interesting?
real interesting.
Aye, what one was it? The
second
American
one. The second
or
one's
the
interesting.
second one?
I think the second one is interesting, given this weekend, given the fact of who he actually is. I genuinely, he was a first player that I really sort of fell in love with. I just loved the way he played the game. I just loved the way he got about the pitch. And we've probably, in that mould anyway, I think we've only ever had maybe 2, maybe 3 players who could play that type of football. So, yeah, that's why.
There's a lot of things, Kevin. Interesting is not fucking one of them. Right. Anyway, let's move on. Right, Ando, calm down. For anybody that's new listening to us, give us a brief explanation as to what we're just about today.
So, apologies, listeners, if you had to listen to the absolute rip-roaring Harry. I've made a fucking Ricky Hunt of that already. Tam made a is what I was trying to say last week when he done it about Scotland. But basically, you're going to get a list of players that meet a certain criteria. It's go through them, guess as many as you can. You get a point for each one, and whoever gets the highest amount of points wins. And Corbett, you're totally, I think, undefeated at this. Although, actually, who won the Scotland one?
Definitely
Like anybody cares.
Corbett won it as well.
It was me, strangely.
Fucking hell, man.
Love
That's
Scotland.
that's
Love
strong
Scotland.
knowledge, man. Strong knowledge.
Thank
Well,
you.
obviously, we know it's a couple of derbies coming up. In the interests of keeping it on a theme, I've not went with derbies because we've already done one about Hibs goal scorers and Scottish Cup semi-finals. So this one is, and just
Bradley's googling.
because of the stuff.
Did he see what it is?
Oh yeah,
Hands up, Bradley.
There you go. Hands up. What I want, and it's not controversial, but it's obviously it has a bit of resonance with the weekend because I want from you any Hearts player that's successfully scored a penalty since 2015-2016. Right, there are 18 players on the list. Hearts players who have scored a penalty in any competition since the start of the 2015-16 season. All right, and obviously we know we've had our issues with penalty takers this year, so that's just kind of why it's relevant. So, I'm not going to let Tam go first and pick an obvious one. I'm going to let one of the challengers pick an obvious one. Corbett, we'll start with you first.
Now, do we go tactics here? Do I get the obscure one out the way first, or do I keep it for when everybody starts running out?
Your call.
When did we say it's for?
2015-2016 season, the start of. So,
my obscure one, I think, scored it in the championship season, which isn't that one.
Well,
right. Let's start. I'll start with John Suter.
Correct. Oh shit, Kev.
Well, that was fun.
Sorry,
that was right. You just lost in your own game.
I've only been away for a fortnight, man. I've completely went back to total Shanks. Right, Kev, you're next.
Brilliant. Sean Clare.
That's correct. Brad's.
Boise.
Correct. Sam.
Mate, I'm struggling already. That's
Fucking you.
Lafferty.
Correct. Corbett.
Peter Ratchell. We should this. Does this include shootouts, penalty shootouts?
No, just penalties from open play.
Okay.
Right. Okay. We're absolute dog meat at penalties.
Mhm.
Try to think who would even hit a penalty now. We've said them all. Stephen Naismith.
Correct. Kev.
Peter Haring.
No. Not on
Fucking hell, Kev.
my list. Brad's.
Walker.
Correct. Tam.
See, I think Mikey Smith took one, but I think it might be wrong.
It's not on my list. Incorrect. Corbett.
Try to think what absolute. Oh, actually, I'm saying Concalves. Ismail Concalves.
Correct.
Good shout, Corbett.
Kev.
I feel I get really bad at these. I get worse every week now. I don't get what the hell's going on.
It's because I make you put your hands on your head so you can't cheat. That's how.
No, it's not, nothing like that. 2015 season. Nice.
Left music time.
It's the left music time. Right. I'll go for one that's probably pretty obscure. Glenn Whelan. Just tell me he's
Not
Yes,
on my
good.
list. Brad's.
Arnold Jim.
Correct. Tam.
So I was going next.
Wanma.
Oh, very good.
That's what I was going after that.
Look at his face.
How many are left?
There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11 left.
Jesus.
Christoph Berra.
Not on my list.
Ooh. I was trying to figure out if he hit a penalty or not. Clearly not.
I don't have him. Kev.
2015 was gone by that point.
So that means
It's
he's
no
not on my list.
penalty takers in 2015, Kev. It's from.
No, I know. I'm
from
trying to go back
2015
that far.
onwards.
I'm trying to go back that far.
You don't have to talk us through your thought process. You just need to give us an answer.
It can't be anybody obvious. For fuck's sake. Patterson had
Isn't it?
left, hadn't he?
Yeah, at that point, yeah.
Are there any obvious ones left, Ando?
I'd say pretty. You've got one definitely. That's obvious.
It's obvious
1,
when you have the
2,
list in front of you, though.
3. I'd say there's 4 on there that are pretty obvious. Corbett, you really love one of these guys.
Mate,
Like, you properly love him.
Don't ruin it.
Anyway, it's with Kev. Right, Kev. No, fuck you. You're taking too long. Right, Brad's next.
I'm going to go Ozturk. Was he still there? Alan Ozturk.
He was there, but he didn't score a penalty.
Fuck.
So, Tam.
Milinkovic.
Correct. That was one of the obvious ones. So,
Yeah, I've done all right with one man Milinkovic.
And,
by the way.
penalty
I'm chuffed.
penalty against
I'm done.
Celtic, I
Celtic.
think, didn't he?
Where's
Aye.
it?
Then Corbett.
Don Cowie.
No, not on my list.
Oh,
It's
you
the
threw me
other
off
one
by
that you
saying I
really
loved him.
like.
all right. That could be anybody. To be fair.
Kev.
I'm out. Jason Holt.
Jason
He
Holt?
was
No.
he was a championship season, wasn't he? Because I was going to say Brad Mackay, but he was championship season.
Ross Bradley. No. Next.
I'm getting stuck with the championship season as well because I was thinking Jamie Howell, but he got binned 15, didn't he? So I am going to go. Did anybody say so? Osman So?
No, that's one of the obvious ones. So, yep. It's starting to get into lesser known players, bar maybe 2. Tam.
Right, wait, who's winning here? Is Tam at the top of the league? Is he leading? 'Cause I can't-
I've got a
Kev
few.
has 1. The rest of you are tied on 3 equal.
All right, okay.
I said there too, so.
No,
Well, I'm keeping score. I know what's right.
I've got
Uh,
No, you don't.
Boys. Walker, Jim, So. Fuck yeah, I've got 4.
Yeah, it's your day, yeah.
Nice.
Walker, Jim, So.
Oh shit, I put an R instead of a B. That's my fault. Yes, you are right. My apologies. I'm fucking screwing the pooch here, left, right, and centre. Tam,
Picture this.
go.
Prince Bourbon.
Correct. I'm never having a week off again. Corbett.
It's annoying. That's where I would. That was the next one.
There are 7 left. One of them's pretty obvious, I would have said.
The thing is,
and
that after the
you
championship season, we just blanked everybody out because I hate every single one of them.
It's just shit, yeah.
Danny Wilson.
No. I'll open it up now. Tam, I can't see your hands. I don't know what you're doing. Brad's, I'm pretty sure I can't see yours either. Right, so it's just open season now. See if you can get the final ones. We've wasted enough time on this as it is.
Did Sam Nicholson?
No penalties.
King.
Bozanic?
Bozanic is one.
Oh, when did he get a penalty?
Who?
Dowda?
Aye, Dowda or whatever. I think
No.
he scored 1 goal. It was against Celtic or something, wasn't it?
Never scored a penalty though.
Stephen McLean?
No.
It's a good show, actually.
You want me? Are you chapping?
Thanks, Kev. No, wait.
Some positions or something.
No, or seasons that they played with us.
Aye.
Okay, right. So the Corbett's one of Corbett's favourite players probably left us two, 3 seasons ago now. He's a big guy, battering ram.
Oh, Zifuk? No.
No.
Because he
Very
was
similar.
Uchi.
That's
when
big
did
Uchi.
he hit a penalty for Hearts?
He did score a penalty.
Did he?
Was it
Got-
no?
got
I
it
like
on my
Trundler as well. It was a terrible penalty.
Can't remember. I'd have to go back and check my list, but he definitely scored a penalty. It's on my list.
That's ruined my night. Like, that's ruined my night.
The other one, Shanks knows how to say his surname very well.
Oh, Whiting.
Aye.
Whiting.
What about Ollie
Bigton.
Lee? Did Ollie Lee score one? Seems like he could potentially have hit penalties now.
No, not on my list.
How many have we got left now?
1, 2, 3, 4 left.
Are we talking proper obscure now?
Yeah, we are. Well, yeah, I'd say so. I'll just
Some of
give
them
you
signed during the Cathro, random guys that were like Cholies or all these weirdos.
One of them might have been, but I don't know. I think it might have just been before Cathro, but I can't remember. One of them's Connor Washington.
All right, yeah.
Right.
Dario Zanata.
Zanata.
Gav Riley. And the final one, Mallory Martin.
Here, I was actually going to say him, but I thought it was so ridiculous to even think he would have scored one.
And they were they're all penalties that were scored in the shootout that Dunfermline knocked us out in.
No, I've not included penalty shootouts. I basically had a list through Hearts goal scorers that had pen after them, which doesn't include penalty shootout scorers on LondonHearts.com.
Who did Mallory Martin score a penalty against?
Oh, let me find it.
We scored a free kick against Dunfermline.
If it says Dunfermline, call him bullshit and everything.
Mallory Martin scored a penalty at home against Wraith Rovers in the Scottish Cup in a 4-2 win in 2016-2017. There we go.
Weird.
Just because you can't remember it doesn't mean it didn't happen.
So
that's true.
We're all losers then. Is that what we're saying?
Well, I hate to say this, but Tam actually has the total amount of correct answers with 5. Then Brad's on 4. Then Kevin Corbett 3 equal. So
it's no surprise that he got all the happy clapping season ones right, where we were utter dog shit, and he was there with his Uchi posters going, "We love you," and I was refusing to go to games, going, "He's fucking shite."
It took me an hour to make that sign. And he didn't even give me his shirt, man.
Can I get his top turned into a king size duvet? 5XL for the big man, like. Right. Headlines for the week, or for the thing with the absolute kick in the teeth is the news that, and it looked bad at the time. I think everybody pretty much guessed that it wasn't going to be a few weeks, as we like to peddle it when one of our players gets injured. But it looks like Benny is pretty much, well, absolutely out for the rest of the season. But we may be lucky to see him play football again this year.
Right.
And already I know we'll go into talk about Ross County, but it's going to be a massive loss in the middle of the park, especially now that he's added slide tackle goals to his game.
Definitely. I think it's not going to be lost on anybody the fact that we did go a portion of the season without him, and we still were. We're still all right. It wasn't a season-ending thing. One player doesn't make a team and all that sort of nonsense. But yeah, it is shit that we've lost him. I'm very deeply upset about it.
Especially having a player like him in Europe as well. Like he's exactly what you want in a European game, don't you? So,
aye. And plus, I suppose the idea, and I know Kev will give us an update later on Rangers' injury crisis or whatever, but you just have to look at the situation that you have with Rangers and striking when the iron's hot, so to speak, in terms of selling your players at peak price or whatever. Like, I wouldn't. If we continue in the trajectory that we're going for the season, given the performances it had, come the summer, I think Hearts would have been having more than one or two offers on the table for Benny or whatever. So it's very similar to the John Suter thing. Is we brought him in for that exact purpose, get him to deliver on the field, and then sell him for a decent price. So yeah, it's a kick in the teeth all round as well. And Brad's, I was going to say we'll talk about it when we come to the review Saturday, but we kind of been, as Ando said, it hadn't really impacted us massively when Benny was out the last time, but the fact that it now coincides with the fact that Devlin's out as well, we've been lucky that when Devlin was out we had Benny and Haring, and then if Benny was out we had Haring and Devlin, so that we had a bit of balance there. But I think you seen on sort of Saturday the difference that it makes having those people in there when Ross Callahan or whatever he's called is running you ragged in the middle of the park.
Aye, absolutely. And I think you've totally seen there's a lack in chemistry between the midfield pair, and don't get me wrong, we've got a few boys that can drop in there. Like, as much as it pains me, Andy Halliday will do a shift in there every day of the week for you, but it just doesn't have that kind of link in play. One's bombing forward while the other sits in covers, and just, I don't know, there's something missing there. The three of them seem to be clicking collectively, and with two of them gone, it's just a bit worrying.
Aye, it's a bit of a kick in the teeth. The more positive news, though, is that I don't know, it's probably a reaction to the fact that they are injured, Devlin and Benny, but the talks are now that the club are looking to negotiate with Peter Haring in terms of offering a new deal, which can only be a good thing, Kev.
I think it's great. I think we've all spoke about the fact that it seemed a real strange one that the club didn't actually offer him an extension on his contract. That may coincide with, as you rightly say, the loss of Benny, and currently with Devlin out. And it then just shows you how needed he is as a player within the actual team itself. So from that point of view, I don't know if anybody's actually aware of how long the actual contract's for. Anybody know?
I would maybe cut off there, Corbett. We've lost you.
Fuck's sake, Kev! I thought you were supposed to fix that Wi-Fi. Made an absolute arse of it again. You and that Wi-Fi, man. Right?
Told you.
Yeah. For a second there, you were actually making some sense about Peter Haring. So let's move on. What about Barry Mackay? Barry Mackay also in talks now with the club to get an extension. Other than Craig Gordon, who we'll talk about in a minute. The second most beautiful man in Gorgie. Disagree?
Definitely not.
Nope.
Good.
It's the fact that Barry Mackay has actually become he's become a trendsetter. Ever since Barry Mackay got his haircut, and Peter Haring's got his haircut, Robbie Nielsen's got his haircut. They've all gone exactly the same way. But neither of those last two can yet get to Barry Mackay standards.
Robbie's haircut's an absolute weird one, isn't it? What has he got there? It looks like a burnt tennis ball. Honestly, it looks like when you play tennis for ages and one bit of the ball goes all baldy. It's so weird. Like, I don't know what's happened to him.
He's holding on. He's holding on for something. I don't know what it is. It's like it's not going to improve. He just needs to just do what I done. Take the plunge. Just get rid of it. Oh yeah, because you're an ugly looking bastard.
I
When
think
you're
they're all.
standing next to Jig's teeth every week, though, you need to like try and make
Yeah.
it it's like you're.
That's fair.
I think they're all holding it for the cup winning bonus, and then they're all got to Turkey. They're all going to come back with Pedro Herring hairbands and ponytails, and that him Halliday. And them all going to come back like
The full Chris Boyd.
Forrest. Wee Gordon Forrest will come back with curtains. Right.
Just ask for the Gary Lock. Is that what you were saying?
the 1998 Gary Lock, like an absolute classic. But I know it's pretty good. It's good to see the club again. One of the things that's been the most impressive under the Joe Savage sort of reign has been, like I said, the recruitment, but also our ability to retain talent. And again, I'll be, for the first time, like Kevin McKenna's, I'd be genuinely heartbroken if Barry Mackay left at freedom of contract or whatever, because he's one of the best outfield players that we've had for a long time. So it's good to see that happening. Let's talk about Craig Gordon, since we're talking about ridiculousness, and then we'll talk about the ridiculous points below us and how tight the league is. But Craig Gordon, that double save again on Saturday, it's getting actually boring now. Just try to tell to people how good that boy is.
He's a bit of a cheat code in terms of a goalkeeper. Like, it's like you put him there, it's just nothing is getting past him. Brilliant.
Well, I think, Brad, we spoke about it briefly on Sunday, but when you look at the standard, the two challengers, so to speak, in the league, in terms of folk tell you that he's better or they're better than Craig Gordon or whatever, and pretty much all the goals in the Old Firm are goals that Craig Gordon would have saved easily.
Joe Hart doesn't even lace Craig Gordon's boots, and that it doesn't even come close. And I'll argue that to the death with anybody. His positioning, his shape, his distribution, his movement, he's not even close to him. You can argue he's maybe got a few years to pick up these points, but Craig Gordon was doing that at a younger age. It's just a natural thing to have. These reactions and positioning are just. That's why it's so difficult to play the position, and it's why so few make it. It's unbelievable, his double save, and that's, and as you said, we've come to expect it. Like, see if you watch the who's the boy that did our promo video, that Julian Films or whatever it was.
Aye.
The fans are already clapping the double save before he's even made it. Like, the guys behind all that, like, brilliant, that's brilliant. And then, like, he's not even made the double save yet. Like, they just know what to expect.
The reaction I liked in that video is you see the old boy behind, he just turns to his pal. He doesn't even say a word. He just looks at him. I'm like, he just knows that that's like fucking every week.
He's just turned to his pal and went, Shagger.
And it's that weird way where it's like, I think he's obviously outrageous, but everything he does is just amplified by the dross that we've had in goals for the past fucking pretty much since John McLaughlin or whatever. The standard the goalkeeper we've had has been terrible. But again, Kev and Ando, you will probably remember it because we were probably there, but it's up there with the double save or the triple save at Murrayfield in the Europa League qualifier or whatever it is against, I can't remember whoever it is we were playing against, but the saves were outrageous, weren't they?
I was actually trying to work out on Sunday what is the best series of saves that he's had. And that was one that I actually was talking about with my old man. We were also talking about the save earlier in the season at Livy when he touched it onto the post and crossbar, and the guy's just, it's now to be expected, these kind of quality saves. And as you rightly say, it comes off the back of the shite that we've had before. What we had 3-4 seasons of absolute dross. To have Craig now back in goals, and you can see how much it means to him. But the double save on Saturday, for all that it meant a hell of a lot, no celebration from his point of view. It was, he got up, wiped his gloves down his shirt, and carried on with the rest of the game. There was nothing like that, so it was great to see.
Absolutely love that though.
Yeah.
Good to see Craig doing that, wasn't it?
Craig.
I really like when Craig does that.
My pal Craig.
Aye. But actually, we've spoken about it before on here, and this might be controversial, but I think the double save at Motherwell is the best saves of the season. And it was just because we were all absolutely fucking raging at how shit we were that day. But the two saves for whatever he's called, corner shields or whatever, to stop it going 3-0 are ridiculous. But Saturday was right up there. So we'll quickly go around the table because it seems absolutely stupidly obvious. But Craig Gordon's playing of the year, isn't he? There's no point even holding that vote.
Yep.
Hands down.
100%.
I'd
Definitely.
go as far to say in the league, not just
Yep.
the Hearts.
Well, that's where I was going. That's where I was probably going to go next as well, was to think I can't think of another player that is having the impact on their team as much as Craig Gordon is, if I'm being honest with you.
He's probably won us more points this season than our strikers,
Aye,
if you look at
Just
it
try
from
to
that
think.
point of view.
It'll probably be 3 Celtic players and Craig Gordon that are the nominations for the Player of the Year this year. It'll be like
Good
Carton
attitude,
Vickers. It'll be Kyogo, Carton Vickers,
McGregor
probably
probably.
McGregor, and Craig Gordon will be the nominations, I'd imagine. But it's pretty good to see. So we'll talk about the below us. What are we now? 16 points clear or something like that? Is that, or is it 14 points
14.
clear? 14 points clear. But below us, so we obviously play Hibs on Saturday. Hibs basically have to win to guarantee top 6. If they lose in the results below them, I think Aberdeen, St Mirren, Ross County, Livingston can all leapfrog them depending on results in it.
That's
Yeah.
exactly it.
The only one, all of those 4 can do
Right.
it. Goal difference doesn't even really factor into it because if they do win, it's not going to matter. I would
even
absolutely love it.
Aye. Again, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that later as well. But then I think as well, if there's a draw, then there's combination of results as well that can see them finish bottom 6. But again, it's 6 points now. Dundee are 6 points behind St Johnstone, and St Johnstone are 6 points behind pretty much everybody else.
It's spot on. Yep.
St Mirren and
So-
Aberdeen.
Aye, and then you've obviously got so this is the last round of fixtures, and then it goes into the split. Again, I know we've spoke about it before, but we didn't have to go over in any great detail of what it is. But I feel like the split, this is where it's stupid, innit? Because you could potentially end up with a side, for example, like Hibs, who will make the top 6 by the skin of their teeth, who are actually in terrible form, that if they had to play another full round of fixtures against teams, could potentially end up being caught. But because they do the split and they have to play, I know folk will argue and say they play everybody round about them, but if you've got, for example, a next round of fixtures where they all have to play Celtic, Rangers, Hearts, Dundee United, Aberdeen, or whoever again, it becomes that thing. So, what's your thoughts on all that? Is this where the split's a bit daft?
I've always hated the split. I've always thought it was stupid. I've never understood it. Never understood the appeal. But it kills the season for the most part. It's usually dead rubbers from now to the end, with no battle for Europe. There's no battle for kind of the end places. It can sometimes affect the top of the league because you know that you're only got you might have only played the bottom end of the table twice, and the other old firms only played it once. So it kills the league completely for me.
You can see why it's done though, because it's a necessity. You can't have a 44 game season. No one else plays that amount of games in their own domestic league. Because if every team plays each other 4 times, it's 44 matches. It's too much.
That there is the problem, isn't it? No other domestic league play each other 4 times a season. Do you know what I mean? That in there lies the problem.
The English Championship, does it not play it don't play 46 games or something like that, but they've got such a large, there's 24 teams in the there's 24 teams in the league, so it works for them. But this season could actually work out that the team who actually finish in a league position of 9th have more points than the team who actually finish in a league position of 6th.
Aye.
Just because of the way the point structure works. It's ridiculous.
And they find it very weird. Like you said, that you could be absolutely rubbish, not win a single game in the top 6, but you're totally and utterly fine. Do you know what I mean? So, like, right this very second, the team that's sitting 6, even if they draw at the weekend, they are in a relegation battle if the rest of the season went. But because they've secured top 6, their season's finished. They've got 5 games where basically they can do whatever they want. They know that they're not going to be relegated. Whereas aside, for example, like, you know, a Ross County who are in good form, unbeaten in the last 6 or whatever, on a bit of momentum, are stuck in the bottom just because of the way the league, the fixtures have dropped. You know, they might have Celtic the last game before the split or whatever, and they're going to finish 7th, but actually in great form, and are going to finish on 10 points above the person that's in. I just think it's a bit daft. Speaking of a bit daft, VAR pretty much in true SPFL, SFA, whatever it's called fashion, we're now going to vote on VAR with the hope to not introduce it at the start of the season, but introduce it halfway through a season, just for a fucking laugh. Sounds good, doesn't it?
Yeah. There's another good reason for that as well, but why spoil a good podcast with fucking facts? Never mind. You're right. It is completely ludicrous, but there are rules for it.
Well, talk about the vote again as well. Why does the other divisions get to vote? What the fucking?
I know that's shit.
It was only going to affect the Premiership.
Yeah, it's like we're going to vote on how you spend your money, right?
And
that's
also
why it's ridiculous.
And also, Tam, don't you start. You're pure had a chubby for our broth. Now you're upset that they've got a vote. Make up your mind. They're either relevant or they're fucking tin pot and should be shut down. Pick a side. You can't have them both.
I picked Dick Campbell.
Someone throw him out of here.
But the voting's we could do a whole separate podcast on how mental that is. But because I was actually highlighted. I don't know if you've seen the video of one of these guys that's for England that comes up in vlogs in the crowd or whatever. He was obviously in the Rangers end for the Old Firm on Sunday, and Rangers, who were absolute dog shit for 87 minutes after the opening 3 minutes, were absolutely terrible. And he talks to one of the fans after the game or whatever, and is like, "Oh, what happened? What happened there? How come Celtic were so much better than you?" And he said it was the SFA. the SFA have done them, and I'm like, how there? There's no red cards. There was no offside goals. There was no. How have the SFA done you there? And I think even just for Pata, imagine how good the introduction of VAR is going to be halfway through a season for the absolute crackpot tinfoil heads that live in Glasgow.
I never even thought of it that way. That is going to be an absolute car crash, isn't it? Because whoever wins the league out of those two at the end of the season, obviously it might be us, you never know, it might be brilliant. But let's be realistic, it'll be Rangers or Celtic. Whoever doesn't win it is going to use that as a lever they can pull for fucking years and years and years. It's the SFA. And
let's hope they're ahead at the start of November and then lose it.
Absolutely superb. Right, we'll end the wee headline there. It came out today. They were obviously recording this on Tuesday. Reports in the press linking Hearts to Alan Forrest at Livingston. Again, Tam, you love Livingston. What's your views on him? How's he been this season?
I'm all for it. As a squad player, I think he would be better than actually some of the wide options we have currently. The guy obviously scores goals and assists goals. Is that the right word? Aye.
Well, you were doing so well there, weren't you?
Assist goals. And he's having an altogether very good season. So, to be honest, he's a better option than fucking Ben Woodburn at the moment.
Is he just looking good because he's in a shite team, though, Tom?
Quite possibly. But,
so, you gives your logic about what you said about playing Thursday, Sunday as well. That was quite good. I like that for you. And
obviously we are going to be playing Thursday, Sunday. If we go on and do well in the squad, get to the final, we will have Thursday, Sunday guaranteed. We're going to need more than what have we got? 21 players in the squad at the moment. We're going to need to use more of a squad. So we do need like quality players in there rather than some shite.
Okay. Right,
Thanks.
Thanks, Thomas.
Have I sold you on them then? Aye, that's it. I'm glad you all agree. That's cool.
This is why I didn't say anything, because look how much you just ramble. You didn't know what to
I
do.
don't like it. I honestly hate it. You're so such a wank.
You just keep talking for no
Let's
reason,
go.
and it's funny.
Let's go for our resident transfer market guru. That is Brad's. Right, Brad's. Tell us how he is.
Right. Oh, you're hosting now, Kev. Brilliant. You just take over. Right. Carry on.
Well, funny you should say that, because I've just looked at it right now, and Tamsin is an absolute baller. Played 31 games as a midfielder, has 3 assists and 4 goals.
That's about all the goals Livy have scored.
Sounds perfect for us.
Aye.
Sounds absolutely perfect for us.
What's Woodburn's stats? Out of interest.
Oh, knows. Let's have a look.
No played
Kelton.
31 games, thankfully.
That's that.
I'm
talk amongst
not-
yourself.
The left music again.
There's been a lot of that now.
Aye. Well, Ben Woodburn's had 3 goals, 1 assist, and has played 28.
28,
No.
so not actually far off. Okay.
Yeah. But
So equally as shite as Ben Woodburn is what you're saying.
Definitely. For me, no. It's I don't see enough there for us to be going. Yeah, aye, brilliant. We'll take him. Even as a squad player, we'll be able to pick up something better than fucking Alan Forrest. No.
Well, we've spoke
Not for
about it.
me.
I don't know if we spoke about it here or if it was before we started recording or whatever, but we're offering contracts to Connor Smith, etc. as well. Surely, if Tam's logic is right and that's what we're looking for, surely we have a young player there that could get promoted to the squad. Stephen Naismith's under-18s team or whatever it is are absolutely flying right now, scoring goals for fun, winning games for fun. So surely the recognition and the reward for that has to be that some of these guys start to feature in the first team. It was good to see on Saturday that Mackenzie, whatever he was, what's it called? Mackenzie Kirk, is that his name?
Yep.
Andy Kirk's son.
Aye. So like, it's class to see them making the squad and all that sort of stuff, and it's somebody that I'll be interested to see if they get bled into the team in the coming weeks. Now that it's pretty much confirmed that we'll be finishing third, which is decent. Right, so we just touched about it there. So let's review Saturday. 1-1 draw at Ross County. I, for one, was totally shocked it ended a draw. What about yous?
Consider me dumbfounded by that. It's aye. I think it was going to be a draw all day long, especially being up there.
What are we? 10 undefeated in Dingwall or something like that.
So,
One-
it's a few like
1-2, drawn the rest.
mhm.
Can't be
So,
far off that.
I'll tell you how confident of a draw I was on Saturday. I didn't even bother to watch the game. So one of yous can talk about how the game panned out. Thomas, you paid for something or you stole it on IPTV or whatever it is, but you were watching the game on Saturday. Talk us through the first half. What was the changes? How did we set up? What was the team line-up and all that?
I hate when you ask me about the team because my memory is really, really good there. But obviously, we set up in the usual formation we've been playing for weeks. We usual sort of front three. McInnes was in, then your Mackay, Boyce and Sims. Then it was Halliday and Herring. Then we had Cochrane, Kingsley, Halkett, and who was right back?
Civic.
Aye, so it was. That was one of the changes, and Gordon. I thought, to be honest, we started the game really well. Boys should have scored within about 40 seconds, was it? I don't even know. But someone tell me how the ball goes backwards on that chance. They didn't even show it on Sports Scene, which was very strange. And then led to the penalty, which, to be honest with you, wasn't really a penalty, but we all love Barry Mackay, but that
Are we
penalty
going
was
strong?
terrible.
Are we going strong enough to say that it was a dive, or are we saying that he's just played to the guy putting his arm across him.
He's played to it. I wouldn't say it was a dive, but if it was somebody else that done it against us, it was a dive. Aye.
It was a dive. Come on, just say it. It was a fucking
It went down. The political answer is it went down quite easily.
Aye, it was a fucking
But-
dive, man.
For me, it's a dive.
Aye, it was a dive. Which we don't. If we're going to be serious, I don't like to see that, because if it was against Hearts, we'd have been absolutely furious. He's too good a player for that as well to keep in his game. He needs to cut that out and made up for it with his shite penalty.
I was going to say that's why he took such a shite penalty. He was just like, that wasn't a penalty. I'll just take a shite one.
Well, the good news is that if he follows Benny's route of scoring in consecutive games, it means that against Hibs, he's probably going to hang Wayne Beer for the rest of the season.
Can they say that? No, no.
I told you I'd suck the life out of it. I told you I would suck the life out. It was coming. So again, that was the other thing as well. Why I didn't even bother watching a game. Again, we said on the last podcast that Hearts' form coming out of international breaks is absolute dog shit, and we continued that sequence of events with our draw. So pretty much all the action.
Who quoted you on that as well after the game? Alan Preston. So, Alan Preston, if you're listening, he clearly pays attention to what you say, because he did mention that after the game. Hearts form exiting an international break, so
that's fine, but he can do that. He's a very, very generous donator when it comes to
friend of the show.
He can say whatever he wants, but
I him a bit of a ribbon.
All of the action happened in the first half, wasn't it? Pretty much.
I honestly can't even mind the second half. The first half was an absolute frenzy, like end to end, and then the second half just kind of died a bit. I don't know what you think, but I just didn't really pay attention to the second half as much.
Second half had a total dead rubbers feel about it. It's almost like they've been grilled for going in too hard when they've got two big games coming up. It's like they've played a school game and then they've got a big cup game coming up for their club, and they've got nailed off the manager for it. They got absolutely hammered because a lot of them just took the foot off the pedal, and they're like, we didn't. Again, the reason why we hate the split, they've almost certainly secured third, so they're like, why the fuck do I need to get injured now? I may as well take the foot off the gas and focus on the next two big games. That's what it had to do with me.
So we obviously, Kev, we've talked about Gordon's saves, a couple of half chances, but to be honest with you, even talking about half chances is a bit a cheek, because I think Ross County hit the post about 35 times, and Craig Gordon's had to make more than one wonder save. So you take, I hate saying it because it's annoying at the time, Hearts should never go into these games with this mentality, but you take a point and go down the road, nobody injured, no harm done. And again, at the weekend, results seem to go our way again. When we've dropped points, no one's really capitalised on it.
Aye, exactly. There's been a number of games this season where we've not actually played to our fullest, but the clubs that are, as we've just mentioned, currently fighting amongst themselves over 4 points or whatever it is, just simply draw games over and over again. So it's good that we started the season like we did, or we could have been in that quagmire. It was a cracking word for you this time of night. Amongst them all. So from that point, I'm quite happy to see us go up there, as you rightly say, come away from what is really an absolute shithole of a place that's like still in 1972. I wasn't even born then, before any of you ask.
Bollocks.
Come back down the road with a point, with a virtually uninjured squad. I don't know about Boyce. He came off towards the end. I don't know if it was just cramp or what. But again, as you rightly say as well, there's the Mackenzie Kirk got his little cameo appearance at the end of the game, and which was I think the club had mentioned that the last game that Andy Kirk played in, Craig Gordon was in goals, and then the first game of Mackenzie Kirk's career, Craig Gordon's still in goals, which is quite a feat in itself. So yeah, all positives, other than the fact that not collecting all 3 points.
Actually, I always laugh at that when I think Craig Gordon's like a year or 2 years older than me, and if we stood next to each other, I'm a fucking different species to him. Like how at his age is he able to do half the stuff that he does? I can't even put my fucking shoes on without needing an ambulance. Fucking mental. Right,
Yeah.
and I think we didn't have to play Ross County again this season. I hate Ross County.
We probably
know-
will.
I know that it's a great. I know it's a great away day or whatever, and that, again, I am enjoying the Drunk Hearts away day Twitter. It is good fun, but it's too far away. Get them out the league. Get them out there. I hate Ross County. Right, let's talk about
What's
the
the
stuff.
thoughts on the Atkinson song?
We'll talk about that later. It's
Okay.
decent. I'm liking it. I'm liking the tunes that are coming out right now. I like how multicultural the songs are. So I'm all for it. I love singing ABBA and Belinda Carlisle at games. It's great. My thing is, actually, we should go back and write songs or do these tunes for guys like John Cahoon or Robbo or people that aren't going to leave in like 6 months. You know what I mean? Like, we've had great Kyle Lafferty tunes, we've had Ollie Lee tunes, we've had the Danny Wilson tune, all these things, and then they leave after about 4 months, and it's like, brilliant. Now we can't sing that song again. So there we go. Right. This is what we all wanted to talk about anyway, innit? Saturday, 3 p.m. kick-off, Tynecastle, the Edinburgh Derby. 0-0. Is that what we're saying?
Pretty much,
Yes. Yep. I'm going to be travelling the length of the country, as I've already said, at a massive cost for what will ultimately be fuck all. So yeah, it has got 0-0, or maybe we'll push the boat out and we'll get a score draw this time. Might even be 1-1.
Be nice to see a goal, to be fair.
Aye, so starting to get the blood pumping a wee bit. I'd take a 1-1 right now. Actually, no, tear that.
I'm going
I
the
want a
opposite.
5-1 shagging.
I'm going the opposite. I think, and I know, Kev, we spoke about it earlier at work, but this very does. This very does.
Don't remember
Very
that
does.
conversation.
This has got 2012 vibes about it in terms of derby before a big derby, if you know what I mean. Like we bet them 2-0 at Tynecastle before the cup final. They were in free fall at that point, playing shite. They were talking about how if they keep all the pressures on Hearts because Hibs are doing shite and only winning, and Paulo Sergio very famously said, well, if your opponent believes losing matches puts pressure on us, then keep losing matches. So I think Saturday will play a big bearing on how the semi-final goes, if I'm being honest with you. I think that, all jokes aside, Hibs' season right now, where they are, the mood around the place in terms of, there's still uncertainty about Maloney and people having them or no having them. Hearts win, condemn them to the bottom six. I think it sucks the life out of them completely in terms of their season. Do you know what I mean? They then go into that. We all laugh and joke about. We talk about ticket sales. Semi-final tickets. We sold 11,000 tickets in the first 8 hours of sales. I don't think they'd even reached 11,000 after nearly 2 weeks of sales, where it's 2 tickets per season ticket holder and then being on general sale and all that sort of stuff. I think it's a big game on Saturday. I think it sets the tone for how I think the semi will go. Kev, I know you hate all that, Patter, so I'll come to you first. What's your thoughts?
I'm already starting to shit it. I genuinely am in that sort of. You look at squads and you think, yeah, our squad is got a bit of superior quality in it than what I'm hearing from Hibs fans. They're talking about they've got no creativity, they can't score in front of goal, all these kind of various different statements, and you think, great, that's what I want to hear. But then you just get that little drop of doubt in the back. It just drips in and drips and drips, and it's now starting to actually make me feel panicky. So I might actually start drinking tonight. We'll go on with the old bottle tonight, and hope that it continues right through till what is effectively Easter Monday. Magic.
True, but then I can't see. I'll be like that for the semi because, like, we've won and lost matches to Hibs in the league every year. Do you know what I mean? Like, we'll win some, we'll lose some. That's what happens. But playing them at Hampden happens almost never, and we have a very good record of that. So I'll be more nervous about that. I don't know why, but I can't see Hearts losing Saturday.
So you saying you get nervous for a semi? Wow.
Aye. No, I'm at an age now where I get nervous trying to get a semi. So if Newman are going to sponsor us, that would be class. Brad's, what's your thoughts on Saturday? Obviously, we'll do a semi-final special. Obviously, we'll talk about that in more depth. But for the game this Saturday, what's your thoughts and feelings on it?
Never in my life have I been more confident for us to win against Hibs, and that gives me the absolute fear. I have obviously always chuck it, and I'm actually of the reverse thinking of yourself, because I think if we win against Hibs on Saturday, if we push them into the bottom six, I think it gives them the only thing that they've got to fight for now is the cup and the semi. So I think that they chuck everything at it because their season's effectively fucked, and it really would open up the semi. Whereas in my head, I'd quite comfortably take a draw now, going into the final, semi-final neutral, and then know that we've got the upper hand on them. I don't know. It's just a weird thinking, but I don't know. Hibs. I've watched Hibs a few times this season, and they're utter pish. And I know I've just jinxed myself there, but honest to God, they're murder.
Aye, but Ando, like, I know what I get Brad's thinking there as well, but I just think, like, you look on Twitter, you talk to your Hibs mates or whatever after, like, games like Saturday, or when they obviously lose to Aberdeen and that as well. I think they're at that point where we were like with Cathro, and I know they hate that, but it was like, you could see that it was a project. You could see that we were trying to build something, that it was a different way going from Levine and Robbie at the time. But that's all fine and well. You have to see that on the park. Like, you have to see something, because I think Hibs have won, 2 games in 2022 or something like that in the league, or even if it's as much as that. I think Saturday, for me, sucks the life out of their season if they lose.
Definitely. I've said this before already. At Hibs throughout this part of this throughout this season, is that Hibs are like they're a zombie that's walking about that doesn't know it's dead. Right? It's like that's what the club generally is like just now. I think the as you rightly say, it is a project with Maloney. It's only a matter of time, really, until someone just goes, "We've rolled the dice here. We've not got the 6-6 we wanted. Fuck it, we need to roll again." And I think that these 2 games coming up are going to play a big part in whether they keep him or not. I think I'd be delighted if they kept him, because I've not seen any improvement in Hibs under Maloney. I do not have a single shred of doubt about the result on Saturday. I don't know why Kevin Brads are being such pussies. For me, I only see one outcome. I see quite a heavy victory, which means it'll finish 0-0.
Absolutely no.
Because what happens up here to what happens at Tynecastle, 2 completely different things.
Tam, obviously, you're loving you love a happy clap, but if we're going to be realistic, Saturday against Ross County, we were pretty poor in the middle of the park, if we're being honest. Toby Sibic didn't look very convincing where he was playing as well. What would be your changes for Saturday? What would you change? Who would you bring in, or do you keep as is?
I honestly think you keep as is. You go with the team that's there. If Devlin and Suter are, as they're predicted, might be back, you save them for the semi. I wouldn't risk them for Saturday's game. I would keep with the squad we've got. Other than that, like, when we can go full strength, I would go for Hampden for it. That's my take on it, really.
Does Atkinson come back in?
Why was he out? Was it just because of the travelling?
I'd imagine it'll be international.
Yeah. To be honest, if he is back in, I didn't know if he was injured or what, but yeah, I'd bring him definitely back in. I'd even try Civic in the middle of the park, just for a wee bit more, but guaranteed Halliday plays, because this is the games he always plays in.
And to be honest, Halliday deserves to start as well. I think he's been since he's come in. I think he's done more than enough. Potentially, like you said there, I think they could, although they've brought Sibic here to replace Suter, not to play in the middle of the park, although he has done it before. And to be honest, that's where we brought Peter Haring in to play centre back and play them in the middle of the park. So
Yeah.
they have two of our midfield as centre backs playing as centre midfielders. But I do think that'll be where we win and lose the game on Saturday. Like, I think our front three between Boyce, Mackay and Sims have a good understanding of each other, and I think, you know, if McInnes keeps his place, he's probably done enough to keep his place. You'll have enough liveliness out of him there. Although I do think it'd be like a game for someone like Gino rather than Woodburn to come in. Let's just hope that they'll probably bring GMS back for Saturday, which would be a pain in the neck. But Tam, your thoughts on how does it impact the semi on Saturday? Do you think it has any impact? Or
See, if I had it my way, I'd just play like kids on Saturday and just fucking give them no like inclination of how we're going to set up or anything the week after. Because I think it is a good test. But as you say, if you go out there, smash them, you set up what should happen in the replay, essentially, the week after.
I don't think you have to smash them. I think it's like it feels a bit like the Aberdeen game at Tynecastle, where we have a point to prove. We said it all season long. I can't believe we're having to beat Aberdeen this season because they've been fucking shite. And then we played them at Tynecastle. We never battered them in terms of like goals, but they never caused us a single bother the whole game. Like, it was almost like we don't even have to get a fucking second gear. That's how better than you we are. And I think that I've said before in here, I've liked that about Robbie and this Hearts side, and this incarnation of Robbie is that he's been more bullish when it's come to that sort of stuff, which is why I think Saturday they'll try to lay a marker down for the semi.
Same with that.
Don't have an issue with it.
Which would be my feelings for
I'd much
Saturday.
rather see that than a team of kids going out, to be honest. That would be horrible. But
And I just
It's
think
just a
too, as
plan.
well, like I've said this before, and we'll probably talk about it more next week, but I always feel that we get to this stage where, like, Robbie, where he always gets to these kind of crossroad moments. Like, we've had an amazing season, like, no one can take that away. But you lose the semi-final and, you know, Hibs potentially win the cup or get the European places or whatever, then, you know, you're looking at 2 Scottish Cup victories in the tenure of Robbie. You look at the noise that comes through that. You think, well, actually, if they get the European places, get the millions that come from it, then, you know, what does that then do for the outlook of our season? And it feels like Robbie's had a few of these moments in the cup and in the league since he's came back. Like, you know, had Brora this year. You know, he's got a chance to get to the final. You know, having went out the very first hurdle last year. He's came with this bad derby record that he had before, and now he's come back in touch with. He hasn't lost the derby since he's returned. You know, I mean, there's loads of I can't care, but how do you say it? It feels like, you know, you get into these bits where he's getting to, like, if he wins the semi-final, he becomes a Hearts manager legend. He does. You could argue that he's there as a player already, which I would say he was. He's any Hearts Scottish Cup winner, and for the tackle in the final, counts himself as a legend. But he'll be the only Hearts manager in history to have, you know, 2 Hampden victories against Hibs in his CV. So feels like he's got something to prove, which is why I think he'll lay a marker down in both the games. But there we go. And if no, we've got something to fucking moan about.
It's a win-win situation, all right.
Yeah, we've got something to get fucking towed into them about. Right, big boy pants time. Ando, give your prediction for Saturday, not the semi-final. What's your score prediction?
Heart Midlothian 2, Hibernian 0. And exactly the way that you framed it up about Aberdeen. Lay down a marker. We won't batter them with goals, but it'll be a very convincing performance. 2-0. Job done. Go.
Nice one. Kevin?
I love Ando's confidence there. I do wonder, though, that if some of the players will have an eye on the semi-final, which can sometimes have a negative impact in the way in which they'll actually play or perform. But I will go with a 2-1 victory.
Okay. Bradley.
You're right there, Ando.
I was going to say, if you fucking say this is going to be a draw or a loss, I'm travelling up early to kick the shit out of you.
We'll start getting ready for my prediction, by the way. So.
I just expect it for you. I expect it for you, Tam.
For me, my head's saying it's a 2-0 win, but the predictor will read 1-0 Hibs.
Well, we've got to carry on the tradition. You got to carry on the tradition. When since we've been doing stupid predictors, Hearts are unbeaten, so we'll be fine. Tam, go on then.
0-0 again. Repeat.
0-0. Repeat. I'm in the Ando camp. 2-0 Hearts will be my prediction for the game. Right, cool. Let's end it by going through the Kevin McKenna's players. Kev, go for it.
No worries. So the first one was 44 games for the famous. In total, 7 goals. Played for 9 different clubs throughout a very colourful career, including teams in France, England, Scotland, and the USA, and managed 2 clubs in the MLS. That was New York Red Bulls and Toronto FC. But who the fuck are they? Who do you believe the player to be? Let's go to Brad.
Yeah, mine's is a real stab in the dark. I can only think of one manager who went over. Mo Johnson.
Well done, Brad.
That was also my guess. So well done, Bradsy.
Was that right,
mate?
That was my guess as well.
Yeah.
That was definitely my guess.
Yeah. Well done, Tam.
I'm not going to be a Tam.
I was trying to
just
think
say
of
that
the Red Bull managers, and I was like, when did Bob Bradley play for Hearts? And I was trying to think.
I genuinely didn't write any of this down because I don't have a pen, which is a lack of foresight, but never mind.
Good. Very good. And then the second one for this evening, we signed him from his hometown club. 203 appearances for the club with 61 goals in total. Sold for 1.75 million. And hung up his boots in 2015, but still plays the odd game for the Legends. Tam, seeing how you were so good at getting Mo Johnston with the first one, tell us who the second one is.
Think it might be Colin Cameron.
It's Colin Cameron, mate. Yep, Colin Cameron is the man. As I say, first player that I really, had seen most of his games for Hearts. Was definitely gutted when he left the club to go to Wolves. Who the fuck are they anyway?
Teammate.
Because it's Wolves. You always do that when you say that. Wolves or something you say. Yeah, absolute nutter. You've been taking fucking elocution lessons for Shanks?
Exactly that.
Right.
Is that when he got rid of all hair on his arms?
That's what your mum gets, Kev.
Let's all meet back up on Sunday when we're all hate Hearts again and Hearts have lost to Hibs and we fucking hate the season and it'll be brilliant, won't it?
I'm up for that, man. That'll be a great laugh. I prefer it when everything goes shite because it's more entertaining.
Actual look the other day, I think we've lost 8 games this season. 8 podcasts where we've actually been able to fucking say how much we hate Hearts.
And you've been able to sort of speak about how much you hate Nielsen, how much you want to kill him.
I know.
And that is when you're at your happiest. So
very true. I've already been thinking about the bus journey home after losing the semi-final and just how amazing it's going to be when I'm fucking livid. It's going to be.
Bradley will still be asking about your dad, so it's fine.
If you don't text me once on Saturday to ask me where my dad is, I'll be fucking raging as well, Brad. Yeah. Right, boysies. We'll see you all next week.
Will do.
See you all later.
Catch you later.
Catch you.
Bye.